article.
Pat,
we'll look at some
maybe
statistics.
before you get into it, you want to explain why this story means so much from you. You're from California. You moved out of California.
There's a lot because I'm getting bombarded with people are asking me, what do you think about what happened? What do you think about what happened? What do you think about what happened? I'm like, I can't send 100 messages to people. What do you think about what happened? It's a lot easier to just do one podcast. Go watch it. Here's what we think what happened to California. So, Gavin Newsom will remain California governor after handily defeating recall attempt. Not even close. The Guardian, right? Mm-hmm. Newsom has prevailed in a historic recall election that had him battling for his political life in a referendum on the governor's leadership. Through the pandemic, voters resoundingly rejected the choice to replace him with a Trumpist Republican. I got to keep in mind, this is The Guardian. Newsom's most popular challenger was Larry Elder, a right-wing radio host who drew comparisons to the former president and who attempted to sow baseless doubts about the election process. Newsom said that in voting no on the Republican-led recall, Californians said yes to science, they said yes to vaccines, they said yes to women's rights, they said yes to immigrant rights, they said yes to minimum wage, the environment, our future. We rejected cynicism and bigotry and chose hope and progress. And then if you saw him give the speech, he got emotional. He said Trump is claiming there was voter fraud here. This is a very emotional moment for us. He kind of felt a little bit emotional, didn't do any questions. He just walked off, right? And by the way, numbers-wise, yesterday was 67%. We know Bakersfield and Fresno, that are both big Republican counties, they did not. The vote comes on a little bit later. Mm-hmm. Now it's 63.9%. 5.8.4 million people voted no on the recall. 3.297 million voted yes on the recall. You got 9.137 million. And then there's the stats on what it's looking like, yes versus the no. So first person I'm going to go to, I have thoughts on this, but I'm going to go to you first, okay? I'm going to go to you first. I'm curious to know, folks, if you're watching this, I don't know where your position is. I don't know if you're from California or not. I also want to hear from some of your thoughts about what you think about what happened with California. But Tom, you live in California. We spoke yesterday at 4 o'clock. When I spoke to Tom yesterday, Tom couldn't even stay focused for a second, by the way. He was nervous the entire time. Me and Mario were talking to him. I said, Tom, why do you look so nervous? He says, today's the day. I said, so what's going on? I said, it's everywhere I go, I'm hearing all this stuff. So why don't you tell us how you feel about what happened last night?
You know, here's how I feel literally. I mean, I felt this way last night. I felt this way this morning when I was leaving California, too. I literally feel like your favorite team, say you've been following a team forever and they lose the Super Bowl. But on that same day, your favorite team loses the NBA championship and the World Series, and the Easter Bunny gets run over by a cement truck.
Why is that?
Just because I had hope. I mean, there's very little things that you could hold out hope for, right? With the grip that the Democrats have and how California has just literally turned into a different state. All right, Pat, you used to live there. Everybody else, a lot of people watching this right now, either live there or visited there. It is not the same state. You take a drive anywhere and you just think you're in an alternate universe because this is not the California that was that beckoned everybody from all over the world and all over the United States that wanted to be there. So it was very depressing. And I had built up my hopes. I literally thought there was a chance that this could happen because everybody I talked to that was a Democrat or would be a traditional California Democrat in a normal world, they're flipping. Here's the other thing. Dash had baseball last night, so he was training from 6:30 to 8. I voted like at 7:30. The lines were down the street at 7:30, but by 6:30, the LA Times, everybody else is calling this thing. Plus with all the mail-in votes, I'm not trying to say, that anything, happened that shouldn't have happened or there was any fraud. I don't know. Maybe there was. But how do you call an election that quickly? You do it because you have the media right in your back pocket. They'll do whatever they want. It's the LA Times. It's unbelievable how they were gearing up for this 3 or 4 days in advance, saying that it was going to be a wipeout, trying to get people not to go to the polls. So it was depressing for me because I liked Larry Elder. I liked what he stood for. I think he made a couple mistakes, Pat. I don't think he got personal with Gavin Newsom like he should have. I think all he was talking about was policy and what he was going to do. He's not an experienced politician. He should have got in there because he had plenty of ammunition where he could have buried Newsom on some personal things, just like Newsom did to him. So that's how I'm feeling today. I'm a little bit bummed, but I'm an optimist. I'm always looking for the silver lining, and here's it for me. We've got the Super Bowl coming up in February. We got the World Cup, and we've got the Olympics all coming to L.A. You cannot put on these types of shows on the global stage and have your backyard be a garbage dump, which is basically what L.A.
That's a very good
in
point,
Southern California is. Yes.
That's a very, very good point you just made.
Yep.
So if those things are coming to you, And they're talking about a shutdown because of vaccine mandates. You know, they just announced today, bars, movies, restaurants, all the places you go in LA, you're required to show your vaccine passport to go into these places. That was just announced today. Okay, so how do you run those events?
Well, you know, you do the facelift, right? You clean the homeless off the street near Inglewood, where the Super Bowl is going to be in the new stadium, or downtown, or even if you watch the Sunday night game last night, they showed all the beauty shots of LA during the season opener for the Rams on Sunday night. But for the World Cup and the Olympics, it's going to be different because that's the world converging on your city, and it's 2.5 or 3 weeks or even a month. So I don't know. I mean, I knew it was going to come, of course, and then there's going to be payback, right? Because Newsom's going to take it personally that they even tried to get him out. So he's going to bury us under his thumb even worse. I'm scared.
You have an opinion on this or no? You seem quiet.
Well, of course.
Tell us what you got.
I seem quiet because I'm listening to Tom Zenner cry over here. You all right, bro?
How the hell would you feel?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not from California. I've never dealt with a recall like this. I feel like this is a California thing. How many other states are having recalls? Your boy George Will, who was a, would you say mentor? What would you say?
He's not a mentor. I would say he was one of the
thought leader of yours.
Yeah, he was one of the first ones that influenced me.
You know, he was on Bill Maher recently, I think last week, and he conservative, right?
I don't know if I put him as a conservative.
He's 100% a conservative, but he's not a Trump conservative. He's not a MAGA.
He's
not a MAGA.
He's a Bush.
He's a Lincoln Project guy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a conservative, though. But
I don't know if it is.
To be honest with you, we can go off the rails here. I don't even know what a conservative is at this point.
I don't think it matters anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what it means.
The idea of left and right, of Republican and Democrat, of liberal and conservative, they're just words at this point. What we really
I do agree with you on that.
What we have emerging are two very, very clear camps. You have the collectivists and you have the individualists. You have the globalists and the federalists, and that's what's really emerging.
That's a better way of putting it. I agree. But
okay, I don't think I would venture to guess that 50% of the people could not define any of those words he just used.
Yeah, it's very collectivist means what? So what is the
We're all going to do this, I guess.
So professor, I heard a professor from Cornell University said what makes capitalism work and what makes this work in companies and what backfires on companies is you have to be able to pump up the collective, but make sure you individually recognize the individuals above and beyond everybody else, which means what? The team wins a championship. You can't say, oh, we did this all together. It wasn't because of one person. No. Here's how a football game ends with. Gang, great job defense, great job offense, phenomenal job. But the game ball goes to
Tom Brady.
America's not doing game ball anymore. America's just doing we won. We forgot about the game ball. That's what he's saying, collective. But go ahead. You're going to make your point about California.
Look, being from Florida, we don't have the divisive politics that you guys have in California. This is something that I've learned since being at Valuetainment. Even New Jersey, like Gerard has very strong feelings against the...
Don't say his name. We're having a good day.
To your boy Phil Murphy, whatever his name is. Very strong feelings. You have very strong feelings against Gavin Newsom. In Florida, we're just like, look, we're a purple state. Look, we'll get along, we'll not get along. It's fine. It's all good. I'll see you at the club. It's not that big of a deal. Obviously, in California, it's a very big deal. But I'm not shocked by this. I think what I'm most shocked at is the fact that I've been spoon-fed this Gavin Newsom's out of here for the last year. And, dude, it wasn't even close.
67%.
It wasn't even close. Like, we've been, whether it's the topics we cover, whether it's the people that are on the show, whether it's...
Who said he's going to be out?
Who said?
Who has said he's going to be out?
No, it's just been a theme that we've been discussing, that Gavin Newsom is getting recalled.
He's going to be out no matter what.
when Tom Zenner guaranteed it, I knew it was happening.
No, I'm not saying, but continue, please.
The bottom line is this. It wasn't close. 2-1 margins is the exact same margin.
What does that mean to you? What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything. California, there's
No, you have to know that it has to mean something.
It means that there's 2-1 Democrats in California. California is a Democratic state.
Right.
Nice try, Larry Elder. Wasn't happening. The closest thing they had to a Republican recently was the governor. Screw your freedoms. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
The point is this. I thought this would be a lot closer because of the stuff that I'm hearing around us. But it wasn't even close. Had it been 10 points, 20 points, whatever,
I'll add
it
one
wasn't
thing.
even a
I'll
close
add one
situation.
thing before Gerard goes.
I'm trying to see if you're trying to make a point, bro. Like, tell me.
The point is it wasn't close.
I know, but what does that mean?
Why did we think it was going to be close?
No, it's not about. Okay, so why isn't it close? Tell me why it's not close.
Because Democrats, everything was voted around political lines.
Okay.
would you not agree that California is the most, or if not the biggest Democratic state in the country?
Top 5, yeah. Bluest state.
Okay.
Some would say number 1, but
so
let's just
why
say
are we
top 5.
shell-shocked on this? Meaning, why? Not, I'm not saying we. Why were you shell-shocked?
Well, here, I'll
because
say
you
this.
spoke to some friends that thought that.
I mean, God, I live there. It's the biggest
I'm not
thing
even
in your
being
life.
sarcastic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no.
But
Hey, look, here.
like you're like, oh my God, the Easter Bunny got run over. It's like, nah. We all saw this coming.
Yeah, but when
He
you
wasn't
see
gonna lose.
homeless
He was
people
up
on
20%
every
in the
every
polls.
street around you, and what LA's turned into,
Yeah.
you'd take it a little bit more personally. Here's a quick
I
thought
agree with you on that.
of what you asked. Adam, right now here's what it tells me. The Democrats have a game plan and an agenda when it comes to an election.
Yeah.
They attack, they rally, they do whatever it takes to win, and they're successful at it. Obama was cutting TV commercials. All right, Biden was in Long Beach on Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
They rally together, whether they're telling you the truth or not. They have a message, they stick to it, and they're ruthless. And the Republicans don't play
respect
that
them.
way.
I respect
Yeah,
them.
the Republicans haven't picked up that play card yet.
Let me say one thing, and then I want to get George's thoughts. Here are the biggest issues in California.
Let me ask you a question. Who
Yeah.
from the Republican side showed up to California to help Larry Elder?
Not one damn person.
Give me one name showed up to California.
I can't think of one.
That's the
None,
point. Like-
Zero. And Larry Elder's so articulate because he's a broadcaster that
Yeah.
he can carry a message by himself, and he's likable. And on paper, how could you not love the guy? But no one showed up.
No one showed
No
up.
one
Yeah,
up.
no one showed up.
Well, that's on the
Okay.
Republicans. I can't get mad at the
I
Democrats because
agree.
they showed up.
I fully agree.
Exactly.
You fully agree.
What did we talk about today? You said the best ability is your availability.
Yeah.
Obama made himself
Yeah.
available.
Yeah.
Biden made himself available.
I agree.
Kamala made herself
I
available.
agree.
Who made themselves available?
There is
for
no debating
That's why
that.
I'm not
But
shocked.
go ahead. Here's
what
your-
they said the biggest issues were for the voting bloc. First and foremost, not even close, was COVID, 31%. Number 2, like you said, homelessness, 22%. The economy, taxes, 16%. Top 3. Wildfires in California, big deal, 14%.
Climate.
And then number 5, crime, 8%.
Yeah, and all reasons
So
to get
that's
him
a-
out. I can't believe
by
it
the
turned
way,
out like
well,
this.
by the way,
Okay, so to your point, they asked, how's California doing with COVID? 40% said it's getting better. 40%. 30% said it's staying the same. 24% said it's getting worse. So to your point, they're actually happy with the job he's doing
No,
against
no,
COVID.
it's no, that's not. Wait a
Absolutely
minute.
not.
Reread that number again. Go back
How's
to it
he
again.
doing
60%.
with
No,
COVID?
you said 40% said it's getting better. 30% said what?
It's staying the same.
And 20% said what?
It's getting worse.
What's a bigger number, 50 or 40?
staying the same?
Staying the same and 20 is not a positive.
Well, it's not getting worse.
No, but you don't understand. Staying the same is not a positive thing to vote
Also,
for.
what poll is
Yeah,
that?
staying
What
the
poll
same
is
is
that?
not
and
the
who are they
same to vote
talking
for.
to?
They're talking to teachers outside of a union hall.
So let me give my take here.
Well, the polling shows that he won. So what are we talking about?
Not he
here?
won. He
Yeah.
destroyed.
Exactly.
This, by the way, this is like 48 to 2 touch.
This was an ass whooping.
Oh, buddy, it's not even close. So here's a
Right.
couple things. One, is anybody surprised? Guys are texting me, and the only answer I'm giving is, why are you surprised?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you surprised? Tell me why you're surprised. Okay. One, on a recall, does he have to debate anybody?
No.
No.
Just a yes
okay,
or no
check.
question, right?
Number 2, can he use the government funds to help him win the recall? Yes or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
You know how much
Like-
money he spent of taxpayers' money to help him
Probably
stay?
$200 million.
$80 million. That dinner cost him $80 million bucks. Larry Elder doesn't have that kind of money,
Good for
which
the
means
French Laundry.
what makes you think the right guy won? It's the guy with more money and more pull won. It's not the right guy
That's
won.
in every politics.
But let's
though, right?
continue. Let's continue. Third part. There is no debate for me to sit against this guy to really be able to weigh him out. So that's just not going to be taking place, right? I mean, we covered that a little bit earlier, but there's no debate. I didn't see Larry Elder's policies going up against his policies. There was nothing like that. We did not see a single debate because that's how the system is set up, right? Okay, fine. Let's continue. What does this mean with Obama, Biden, all of those guys showing up? What does it mean? Hey, Republicans, just so you know, that picture with you, Bush, Obama, everybody together saying Bush is now changing his legacy because he keeps throwing Trump under the bus, guess what you're indirectly doing? You're doing exactly what they want you to do for them to win because they are united and they have somebody from the other side on their side, which means Republicans are confused. If I'm a Republican and if I go out, say I'm a big governor Republican, I go out and I support Larry Elder. am I indirectly being seen as being a pro-Trump guy because Larry Elder is a pro-Trump guy?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So, so your advisor as a governor who's got, election coming up, you're sitting, your advisor saying, listen, I'll skip this one. I probably wouldn't go to this one if I were you. Just kind of stay home, dude. You don't need to do this. Who cares if California? We don't get nothing from California, so I'm not going, right? Okay. Go to the next part. So Obama, Biden, those guys, Kamala, go, Pelosi, they all support him. Fantastic. Phenomenal job. When is the last time California has a Republican governor? When's the last time?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's not a Republican. That's
Well, he
not-
was a Republican.
He's not a Republican. by the
Okay,
way.
Like a true
maybe
Republican.
he's a rhino.
No, he's-
Republican
Well,
in name only.
he's saying that part of the
But
party.
he ran as a
No,
Republican.
he's not a Republican.
Then
Dude,
what
do you mean?
I agree.
By
You're
those
right. He
standards,
ran
it's
as a
Reagan?
but he's not a
Right.
Republican. He's a celebrity. Meaning,
He's a celebrity that ran as a Republican.
he's not a Republican. He's not a
He
Republican.
ran as a Republican. He's
What
not a
Pat's saying is
conservative.
true
He's not a
Republican.
conservative.
That's
Some
why.
of that
That's what we talked about
a
earlier. The
politician.
words are so confusing. At
I
this
just
point.
like I tell you,
Yeah.
Trump's not a Republican.
He's not a
Trump to me
conservative.
is an independent. He's not a Republican. The first independent president we ever had was Donald Trump. He's not a Republican. Don't get it twisted. The guy had to run as a Republican ticket, not an independent ticket. So Arnold is probably an independent. He ran as a Republican ticket. He's not a Republican. You don't win as a Republican, okay? Just like Kevin that came over here, meet Kevin, he ran as a what?
Democrat.
But he's not a Democrat. He's probably an independent, but he can't win on
He
an
says
independent
he's
ticket.
51-49 Democrat.
I say he's an independent, but strategically he
Yeah.
made the right choice to run as a Democrat.
Basically, you're saying people are independent,
the
but
last
you got to
time
pick an R or D
the
next to
last
your
time
name.
California had a Republican governor was probably Wilson or the Armenian governor that they have, Dukmejian. I think that's his
Pete
last name.
Dukmejian.
Pete Dukmejian. That was an Armenian governor. I went to a couple events in his later years. So the last time they had governor Republican was quite some time ago. What does that mean for California? What are the chances of a Republican person winning in California the next 8 years? Let's see. Let's process that together and kind of go through it. All right. Number one, how many people, watch this here, watch the angle I'm going to take with this. How many people like Tom didn't leave California because they were hopeful that a Larry Elder or somebody would flip, the recall would happen, and they're not leaving California because let's face it, there's not a state in America that has better weather than California. If you take regulation, the way of you handle COVID and taxes out, there's not a state that competes with
If
California.
you just take governing out.
If you take if you take governing out, I'm telling you right now, there's no
Right.
weather
And that's
that
what
comes
that's California. That's
zero.
what it should
No
be.
weather comes
Florida's closed.
No, not
I
even
don't.
close.
I don't think it's.
humidity.
They're two different climates.
Yeah,
One's the
but-
Mediterranean.
But I tell you, I choose California 1. I choose Florida number 2. Just so you know. But to me, it's a very close. But I still put California at the top. And I'm not even living in California.
Yeah.
I'm in Florida right now. But here's what just happened. This is the part why I don't think Republicans are going to win there for a long time. Okay, 8 years. I think it's got to get very painful before something happens. Here's my prediction. My prediction is those who were on the tipping point, they officially booked their tickets. Now, booking their tickets could be 90 days, could be 6 months, could be 12
leave?
months. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be 18 months, could be 24 months. But how many husband and wives had a conversation last night saying, babe, what are we doing? I remember when I had my conversation.
Business owner.
I left in what year? I left California. Shit, what is it? Like, we came here when? February of 2021. So go back 5 years is what? 2016. We left February 1st of 2016, right? Do you know when I knew I was leaving California?
2013, maybe?
I was in Woodland Hills in my office. A guy knocked on my door, said, I'm here to collect taxes. I said, what? He said, I'm here to collect taxes. What kind of taxes? I pay my state taxes. I pay my federal taxes. He says, it's county taxes. I said, wait, what are you talking about? He says, yes, county taxes. We hear that you're doing well. We obviously follow your stuff. We hear you're making money. You have to pay your county taxes.
We hear you're making
I'm not
money.
even kidding with you. This guy comes and gives me his business card. I'm like, bullshit. This is
Unbelievable.
fraud.
Yeah.
I go to 8th floor, my accountant who were on that floor. I said, what is this all about? He says, shit, they got you. It's hit and miss. They barely get any business, but when they do, you got to pay up. I said, I have to pay this. He says, yeah. So you know it's nearly $80,000. He says, yeah. I said, that's 2 employees. I can't. He says, you got to pay that $80,000. So I said, okay, I'm gonna move to Glendale because there's 13 counties that don't have county taxes. Burbank's one of them. Burbank, Glendale, because of Hollywood. Burbank was one of them. I think Santa Monica's one of them. Victorville's one of them. Anyways, Valencia. I think some of these guys are one of them, like 13 counties. So I move. Every time I moved, more stuff was coming up. In 2012, I told Moral and I told Jen, brace for impact. We're probably going to end up in Texas. Meral laughed at me. Jennifer said, babe, I'm not going back to Texas. And she's from Texas. Yeah. So we ended up in Texas 3 years later. I'm telling you right now, God knows how many people booked their ticket out yesterday.
Yeah, and I'll tell you.
The only timeline is we don't know when. Yeah. It could be 90 days, it could be 6 months, it could be 24 months. But it's tens of thousands that believe in capitalism, that believe in freedom of choice, of choosing what I do with my body, okay? And I'm not talking about abortion. I'm talking about what I want to do, like Nicki Minaj type of freedom. Yep. It's people that just want to be left on. It's libertarians, it's independents, it's Republicans that are sitting there saying, can I really live with this for another 4 to 8 years? And it's not the fact that you can't live with Democrats. That's not the issue. There's many states that are okay. There's 2 states, maybe 3 states that are going above and beyond.
4,
New York
5.
is one. It's probably a handful. New York's one. The other one is what? California. So if they thought like, oh, mass exodus, you just saw the people that are patient who sat around that are saying, you pushed me a little bit too much. Yeah. So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.